My name is John Hand. This is my sweetheart, Terry. Together we run the Hand Melon Farm. The farm's been in my family since my great-grandfather came up from Long Island and bought the first piece of property around 1909. My then grandfather eventually got into dairy farming, and then it has over the years transitioned more into fruit and vegetables. We grow a lot of sweet corn, about 50 acres, 50 different varieties of squashes and pumpkins and cucumbers and melons, of course, and some small fruits, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Terry grows cut flowers, mostly for sale at our stand and some special events. We also have a greenhouse tomato operation. Our cherry tomatoes are just starting to ripen up. They're quite lovely. And we look forward to sharing the rest of the farm with you. So I thought we'd bring it down and show you. This is our first cluster of big red tomatoes. We're pretty excited. These plants just grow amazingly. They're almost a foot a week when we first get them started, and they make some beautiful and really delicious tomatoes. So we're looking forward to getting those on the market soon. Thought we'd show you how we get melons a little earlier in the season. So we cover them with this piece of row cover fabric and hold it down with these bags of rocks or dirt, sand. So the cover really helps them come along. They do get a little spotted up this time of year, but we'll be taking these covers off shortly because the blossoms are just getting ready to open, and we'll want to let the honeybees get in and pollinate them. But this is, I think, yeah, this is some of the earliest of the melons. Where are we? We're June 6th now. So these will be ready in early August. The other thing I thought it'd be fun to share is a little bit about our irrigation and why we set up the field the way we do. So we've got a pond over in the distance a little bit with some electric pumps, and with some of the proceeds from our conservation easement with Ag Stewardship, we did a big irrigation system improvement where we buried all the main lines on the farm and installed the newer electric pumps with high efficiency variable frequency drives. So the water comes right out to this riser. There's a pipe underground here that goes the whole length of the farm. So we can just open up the handle on top and we get a lot of water, up to 1,000 gallons a minute at 150 psi if we want. So this right here is supplying this entire field. The water goes through this set of sand filters to make sure it's nice and clean, and then gets distributed to each row. Each row has a tube that runs down underneath the plastic with very special little orifices every 12 feet so that we keep the raised bed nicely moist for the plants all season long. We can put this on a timer so that it runs every day for however long we feel we need to run it based on the size of the plants and how hot it is and that kind of thing. We learned years ago that most of our vegetables like the raised bed environment. It helps to make sure in a wet time that the roots aren't overly saturated with soil, or with water. And so this plastic is actually biodegradable. It's just been this product has just been developed in the last 4 or 5 years, so that we can actually disc it into the soil, and the soil microbes will break it down, and we don't have to dispose of it in a landfill anymore. And you can see the guys running our transplanter rig. This is how we put the vegetable transplants into the raised beds. We'll get a closer up view of that in a few minutes, but this makes the whole transplanting operation a whole lot easier.
This is my main cut flower field. I grow about 150 different types of flowers for cut flowers that I make for bouquets at the stand and some special events. I have in over 900 dahlias this year, which my addiction to dahlias is getting a little out of control. But so this is my passion and what I love to do. What else is in here? Oh, calendulas and pumpkin on a stick and some funky new stuff that I don't know the names of.
Is pumpkin on a stick the scientific name?
No, it's actually a member of the eggplant family, actually.
It's like a real thing. Are you not joking?
I'm not joking.
It's like, oh, that's probably miracles or something.
Yeah, no, they're little orange. They look like little mini pumpkins, you know, on a stem, a couple of them.
I was out at the Amish auction in Fort Plain last fall trying to buy some fall ornamentals, and they were selling a bunch of pumpkins on a stick. So we thought we'd bring you out and show you some of our blueberries. These are some of the taller varieties. These are usually pickable between July 15th and mid to late August. There's 3 acres of blueberries here, mostly for pick your own. We also do pick a lot of them and sell them at the farm stand. Gotta say, blueberries have become my favorite fruit. It's really quite a privilege to be able to come out here and grab a handful anytime. So that's really cool. We do have them pollinated by some honeybees. We'll show you the little honeybee trailer that's here in just a moment. And there's a lot of bumblebees out here oftentimes also, and it's fun to see them helping us get these blueberries pollinated. My crew's gotten very good at pruning. It's a big job, takes better part of a month with 3 or 4 guys, maybe not full-time, but working pretty busily in March. We take a lot of wood out of here every year. It's just amazing how much you take out, but that really helps the plants grow vigorously and make nice, big, beautiful blueberries. So here are some of the honeybees that are helping us do our pollinating. We work with a local beekeeper that brings in some hives each year. These were brought in really specifically for the blueberries, but also he'll bring in a different batch that'll be on the farm for the remainder of the summer to help pollinate the rest of the crops. And it's nice, we also work with him to sell the honey that he produces at our farm stand. These are our sugar snap peas. We just grow sugar snaps. We don't grow the other kinds. These seem to be the most popular. They should be available mid to late June and maybe through the middle of July. And a little further off to the left are string beans. Grow quite a few string beans, and when they're picked fresh, they're pretty delicious, and we'll have those up at the farm stand as well. Here we have our raspberries, which are coming along pretty well. They'll be picking in early and mid-July. And boy, look at the honeybees on these. Honeybees just love these. Blueberry bloom is pretty much done now, but honeybees are working these raspberries hard. It's great. Look at them go. This is the strawberry field. This year there's over 8 acres of strawberries here, some 165 rows or something like that. We grow about 8 different varieties, some that ripen soon, and some that won't ripen for a few weeks so that we can extend the season. We do a big business in pick your own here. We're looking forward to pick your own season. This year with the whole COVID-19 situation, it'll look a little different. We're gonna have to have people wearing masks, and we're gonna have to be careful to make sure people stay socially distant. But we do feel that we can provide a nice, safe option for people to come and pick their own here. We'll also have berries picked by our crew for our farm stand and some wholesale as well, so that there will be berries in the area. It looks like a really nice crop this year. So these are also on our irrigation system, trickle irrigation tubing underneath every row. So that actually helps us keep the plants healthier. We used to use sprinklers, which work okay, but they do have they tend to make the foliage wet and the fruit wet, and that can cause some mold issues. So the trickle irrigation really is a nicer, cleaner way to irrigate the crop. So it looks good for this year.
Yes! Oh, wow. Cheers! The first strawberries! Woohoo!
Yummy.
Yay!
So it was nice that Katie was able to come out today. It's been very dry the last couple weeks, so we're irrigating the earliest sweet corn that we have growing. We use these big guns. There's 2 of them running right now, so between the 2 of them, they're putting out about 500 gallons a minute. And they will pull themselves up through the field over the course of the next 8 hours. And then we will turn the system off after that run is done, and we will have irrigated about 5 acres for each one of these guns that's running, nice and evenly.
We're here now at our farm stand. We're located right across from on Route 29, across from the Washington County Fairgrounds. We start with a lot of bedding plants in the spring, hanging baskets. Try to carry unusual things that you can't find in other areas. Lots of new succulents and cactus. We've also expanded our offerings for cheeses, trying to carrying lots and lots of local cheeses and meats and other interesting things besides the things we grow, and try to carry some local offerings. We carry some local handmade goat soap, and we have a silversmith. We're carrying some of her products, and some local soy-based candles. So as much as we can bring in from the local area and support other farmers, we're trying to do that in our farm market in addition to what we grow.
So here we are checking out the solar panels. With some of the proceeds from the sale of the conservation easement with the ASA, we invested in the solar panel system, which we got lucky that the barns that were here were oriented just right so that we could put the solar panels up on these roofs, which is really nice. Obviously it didn't take any land, and they're really up and out of the way. We really don't even know they're there. So for the life of the solar panels, hopefully something approaching 25 or 30 years. The farm won't be using any electricity from the grid. We are attached to the grid, so it's the electricity goes into the grid when it's sunny out, or we draw back from the grid when the solar panels aren't making electricity, but it's seamless. So it's nice to feel that we're not using any fossil fuels to make our electricity here on the farm. So this is the field we call Over East. It's about 35 acres here. It's a nice quiet spot. Of course, the deer love it out here. But here we have rye that we grow really as much as anything for the straw, which is the whole stalk. We'll have a neighboring farmer with his combine come in late July and harvest the grain off the top, which will most likely be used for cover cropping on other farms nearby, and we will bale up the straw into big round bales that we will then shred onto our strawberries in December for winter protection, to keep them from freezing too hard in the harsh winter. But what I really wanted to share about this field is that my father's ashes are spread out here from the plane that he used to fly. And as I was debating whether or not a conservation easement with the Ag Stewardship Association made sense for this farm, this was part of my pondering on that subject. I had heard on the morning news about a nearby farm known as the Bender Farm. Joe Bender had his own variety of melons. I would imagine my grandfather and Joe Bender knew one another. And the Bender Farm was getting ready to be paved over for a box store and probably some residential housing. And the thought of that happening to this farm, particularly this piece of ground, was something that didn't sit well. So that was kind of a turning point in my decision to conserve this farm forever. So this field will always look like this, more or less. Thank you, Ag Stewardship. Thank you for watching today, and thank you, Katie Gillette, for coming and doing our photography. We appreciate it from Ag Stewardship Association. We look forward to seeing you in the Pick Your Own Strawberry Patch. We pick blueberries in July. We'd love to see you pick tomatoes, peppers, and winter squashes and pumpkins in September. And hopefully you'll come visit our farm stand. We're in Easton, New York, the stand's right across from the Washington County Fairgrounds. Thank you so much.
Thanks.